Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Dragon Man Was Inside Deadly Sins, Part 2. So, in this What If, I already went over, the details of it, basically, and he won against, him by transforming into a dragon, and so, Bon Hun, or actually Dragon Man heard the conversation about him as, he used his tail to whack Bon on because he finds that offensive. As Dragon Man, or Meliodas, walks up to him and says, "Hey brother, what's up?" Well, nothing much. How about you? Oh. I know that I can't believe you're still alive all this time. Yeah. I had the power to, basically become, he basically, literally, he tells him that if you cut off the head of, or one of my heads, and if I do die, then I come back. It's like a respawn anchor. And that reminds me, as he flies over to Gilthunder, as he knows that, he literally tells him that, remember how gruesome it was for your father to die like that? It wasn't your real father. I made a clone of him. I respect him as my own friend, Gilthunder. As he uses one of his heads, as he barfs out the Gilthunder's dad, and still in his golden armor. As when Gilthunder saw him, he started to tear up as he couldn't believe that his own friend kept it secret from him the longest time. As he says, "I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to have emotional, basically, I didn't want you to end up being so mad at me for it." As Gilthunder is he's in his calm, or he couldn't believe it. As he starts, or he smiles, he gives his friend a hug, and so that's what we wanted to talk to, or I wanted to talk to you about. Okay. as he transforms into a human form, as Lady Diane's upset at him for stealing her like hammer thing, but he says, "Hold on, just for that thought, okay?" He walks into there, and he remembers where it was. So he goes underneath, grabs the tape, aim, and yeah, he pulls the tape out as he walks over to her and says that it has a pretty good weight to it. As don't worry, it's shrunk it down so that to get it in here to just surprise you, because I don't see you as the my friend. I see you as my own sister. Okay. As she's kind of like embarrassed because she thought he stole her like thing, but his real plan was actually to win it, so that I had no intentions of keeping it. That's what. So yeah. So then the demons, or like 10 Commandments, came. They had their fight as Derry Airy could sense and a familiar aura as her eyes starts to like start to become like, yeah, that size. As in her mind, she thought he was dead. But when Floudrin told her that he's still alive, kicking and screaming, she knew that yeah. So, yeah. So then the whole, like, they won. As, of course, when or no, no, yeah, Zartros, I think that's his name. Zartros, Zeldris. He ends up, like, when he heard that he's still alive, his older brother. Yeah. Ten Commandments are like, no wonder why. So then the three archangels came, like them, like him. I'm also, yeah, him and the one that's possessing the Gil Thunders' girlfriend, and yeah. And when he saw them, as he looks away so that he was not, he doesn't want to cause a ruckus, as he calms, walks away. Not until he got noticed by him. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Dragon Man? You still hold a grudge against us. As he says, usually I never have a hold a grudge against anyone. But to you, if that's okay with you, King and everyone, can I usually start yelling when. Okay? As, yeah. So he ends up, or they all agree, go ahead, to just let all your anger out. As he walks up to him and he starts, like, butchering, like, basically a lecture him of, you were the one that cut my head off back then. I got told by the Demon King to slay the hoes like vampires, because they would end up betraying one of us, and I was trying to do something good for her. Okay? As he was so mad at them, they thought a building was gonna collapse. Um, because how loud he was. As he, like, punches him, sending him flying, not denting a wall. As he says, you had way too much fun with that, didn't you? Yeah. But I feel much better now. As he let's move on. As Meliodas says, yeah, I, I, I know that you had hate for that. And so the two people, of course, when one of them was like, is ready, of course, Earth, they ended up teleporting him. When I say they, it means like her and her. ends up of course she covers his eyes with like the or with the yeah. Of course he ends up gets teleported somewhere that's away from everyone's. As yeah. As you don't want to know what to, I'll just tell you, but if there's any kids watching, yeah. They stripped down, and they ended up, yeah, doing naughty things to him. As he took off or actually one of them took off a blinds, and yeah. So yeah, moving on. As he never seen a girl of yeah. They never as yeah. So then they got pregnant with his kids. Yeah. So then what else? What else? Yeah. As he's all embarrassed. Right? He doesn't want to tell them, as he blocks Gother from entering into his mind of what yeah. He basically got sexually harassed by those two girls. Yeah. Because that's basically what it is. I'll just say that. And then, yeah. As in his mind, he says, Yuri's gonna kill me if she finds out that as he's so embarrassed that even, yeah. Yeah, that's what his face would look like. Because he would rather date Eri than being sexually harassed by, and, or actually, let's say instead of like there's two, there was three. It was the, so yeah. Don't ask me who's the third one. Third one is actually, yeah, her. So he's embarrassed. Or as to like, as, yeah. And so after all that, of course, Eri could sense someone's loving on his, or loving on her boyfriend. So she's like so pissed off. No, as he of course, Derry flies up to him, and yeah, as you know how like some people would rather slap the others, like a girl slaps a boy because he was too embarrassed. Well, he's trying not to be so like. So yeah. So they ended up. Of course, she thought he cheated on her. So, month later, down as he starts to tear up, as he starts to say that I can't believe as he's like crying, as he couldn't believe that he had all of his heart, or like his heart got smashed, so he never feels same, because like he got his head chopped off back in past. He got his, but now he got sexually harassed, and he got his heart stomped by her. Yeah. And so, yeah. So he doesn't talk to her anymore. Because how sad he is. He had a relationship with her. But then that happens. So he walks away. As now the time skip to about him against his own father that's possessing Meliodas. Yeah. As he tells Bond that you lost your immortality, am I right? Yes. Now, and their Ares is still alive, but she doesn't want to talk to him. As the only person that really knew that he did not want to be sexually assaulted. He wanted to be loved by Derry was, of course, the Demon King, his own father. As he tells him that she doesn't no longer love you, right? Yeah. Because whose choice was it? Yours or theirs? As he's like, he actually got rid of his happiness as he goes full on berserk. Like his berserk state. yeah, Meliodas' body was pounding to, like, yeah, as he says that yeah, it was like him, but on a whole nother level. As he tells him that she doesn't know it yet, but I really did chose her over anyone else. As he might not see it, and or she doesn't see it either, but I chose her than having to deal with people like those girls. No. Okay? As, yeah. As he says that my love is deeply with hers. As their Aerie was there, but when she heard that he was still in love with her, that she knew that he wasn't, or like, let me tell you, he was not on, like, his choice. He got forced to have, like, getting sexually harassed by those three girls. As, yeah. As she ends up has the same thing. As, yeah. He beats her, or beats or Demon King, and he yanks Demon King out of Meliodas. As his body, as he says that no more her my, as he was, like, he decides to finish off him. So, yeah. So then the whole shenanigans, and yeah. And those three women, the ones that I said, her, and her, end up having 3 kids, and that are basically immortals kids. They can never die. And all 3 of them are almost the same thing as the one of them, the one, I think, VIVA, or no, VIVI. I call her Ms. Vivi. This one. She ends up has a kid. This is her kid right there. Yeah. And the other one is this one. So, yeah. That, yeah. And the final one is actually in the same category. Yeah. It is her. Yeah. She ends up yeah, from all three. As yeah. So she decides to have her own kid with him. Yeah, and you know what's funny? She actually decided for those three to be his wives too. So it's like each of his four heads. His yeah. So she would be the fiery rage. As yeah. Zuko or no, I keep saying Zuko from My Hero Academia. But they of course she ends up with a child, same thing as the rest of them. This one. So yeah. So there was 4 girls, 1 boy, and yeah, each one of them has their like hair color. I was trying to think. Yeah, of trying to match up their hair colors and like skin too. So yeah, they. Oh, this is the happy ending. Yeah, he becomes a legendary dragon of Yolnir. He he goes to the underworld with Meliodas and, of course, actually Zartros. Us as wanted to talk to him privately. As yeah, the if the rumors were true, did you kill all the vampires? Yeah. As he gets hit in the head, like uppercuts him. Did you at least save one survivor? I know. Oh, that. And what if I told you that there's only one person, as he there's inside of his body, like inside of his brain, was her. She was looking as she was kind of like, that's my Zaratros for you. Yeah, that's why I keep my promise. I didn't want to spoil a surprise. Of course, as he was crying or tearing up, as he couldn't believe that he didn't save her, and as he says, as he tells her, or he tells him, there's a little gift for you. As he's, of course, mad at him, but just cover your eyes, please. Okay. Don't peek. As he covers his eyes, as he telepathically tells the vampire girl, ready? Yep, as he marks her up. Yeah. Into a ball. As he sets it down. As he breaks the cube part. Ready? Okay. As he had his back turned, so yeah. As he grabs him by his shoulders, turns him around. Now, move your eyes, or move your hand from your eyes, and see for yourself. As he couldn't believe it was her standing right there. And I said, how did you do that? That's easy. You thought I killed all the vampires? I just wanted you to hit me with it. Or what would you have done? And whether that was your reaction, so he starts to tear up as he's like, you're the biggest brother that I ever had. Yeah. So, no matter if you're a dragon or a human, or even Dragon Man, that's what his name is. So yeah, he ends up happy as you really do keep your promises, don't you? Yeah, but for a very long time, and I keep my promises secret. Usually I'm a loudmouth, but I don't need to tell. Oh. Yeah. And she doesn't know. And when she thought that he was cheating on them again, but turns out there was Zarathos right next to him. As he, of course, he tells them that back then when I remember that mission, vampire mission, to exterminate all the vampires. And she says, yeah, you only saved one, right? Yes. And he doesn't like, yeah, so they had their play date thing. And yeah. So 4 of them, not the kids, but 4 wives of him has agreed to have more children with him. As all the kids were asleep or went to bed. And you know what they ended up doing? Because they all were his wives, so basically all 4 of them. They ended up doing the same naughty things to him. And they ended up having more kids. There's about like 8 children, 4 parents. Yeah. No, 5 parents. Or 4, like, one's a human, one's a demon, or both of them are humans, and The fourth one is a wizard. Technically, it would be a human too, because wizards are sometimes humans too. As he goes, as he makes sure that the everything runs smoothly. Hmm? And so Diane got married to King, and yeah. So this is the happy ending till Michael Jackson comes out of nowhere and meets all of us. Yeah. So yeah, it was a very happy ending. But wait, there's more. I'm joking. the the yeah. And yeah, this as decided, you know what, my son is still alive, so I'm gonna go down there and visit with him. As yeah, he does, or she does go down there and visit with him. And when she saw 8 children, she was like, wow, you've been busy a lot over these years. Yeah, some of them were good, some of them were bad. Like, I'm still holding I'm not holding any grudges against the 4 arcane or any angels, because as he explains that you sent them to try to kill some dragon, and did you realize that it was me? Yeah, sorry, my bad. I didn't realize that you were the who killed all the vampires off. Yeah, the Demon King said the same thing. That if the vampires took over the Demon Kings or the humans, yeah, yeah. So then, yeah, whole shenanigans, whole shebang. The because and the kids were like dragons, looks like, or no, humans that look like dragons things, or kind of like the same thing as what their father is. Like, yeah, basically like that. As they just, when they got older, yeah, usually dragons age only like 100 years. Yeah? So he's technically would be the youngest in the entire world. Yeah. And they are, because they gave him or actually he gives them the history lessons of what dragons what they can do. As one of them asks, why can't all of you grow a little bit faster? As Dragon Man tells them that because we are aging, but we don't age until 100 years per day, or like 100 years. They are now 1 year old. And each one of them has to age up in certain time zone. Actually, so you're saying like they age up during every 100 years? Yes. It's like me. In order to speed up the process, because I gave all of you the seeds of like to make them, you can actually make them age a little bit faster from like 100 years, narrowing it down to about 50 days per day, or 50 days per month. That's the only times that I would been. As she says, "Oh, I see." As they like, yeah. Meliodas is like, man, you are sure has 4 wives. That's good. Of course, it makes sense because one girl, oh, for all the rest of us, but 4 heads, because you have 4 heads, you have 4 wives. Yeah. And they know they're his, like, he's a dragon. So, yeah. And he's a mortal dragon, so he doesn't age as much. He could be, he might look like 1,000,000 years old, but he acts like a 2-year-old. Yeah. As even the Giannis thing decided to give him, or give the, or blessing the children's, as the Giannis never really thought about his dragon, because he's a dragon, he doesn't age as much. He's also not just a normal dragon. He's a Chaos Max dragon. So yeah. Or Elemental Chaos Max dragon. Man. That's a mouthful. If that was a Yu-Gi-Oh card, that would have been the world's longest name. That has like 24 characters. So yeah. Dragon Man and against them. Yeah. So peace out, y'all, and yeah. And this is, or like, the angels play with the kids and the demons do too when they're out like work doing something. And yeah, he hangs out with his 4 wives, his family, his friends, everyone. Yeah. And then tragedy struck. Random meteor just was coming down on. Yeah, every day, or like every day that the Ernest comes, she ends up, because she's not like big enough to like just grab the meteor. So he says, "Huh, let me do it," and as he, because he knows, or she knows that he's her child, so he flies up, grew to biggest size, as he used one of his heads, and he swings his head around on like a little baseball. Boom! As he had a little burnt mark on his face. He's like kind of like what he has. Just imagine like having a burnt mark on, like kind of like what Todoroki has. As he, yeah. As he swings his head around. Yeah. As the kids thought that was cool. As they are siblings. And plus they're cousins that are, because Meliodas is the brother to him, to their father. They start calling him, like Uncle. Oh, yeah, or grandpas, or like, yeah. So, yeah. So now this is the end of the video. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. And if you want me to continue this series, leave it in the comments below, please. And thank you.